Yeah, very much regards to you watching me out there. My name is Fandov Azike Azike. Today, I will be talking on the subject title How Politicians Steal and Spend Public Funds. How politicians steal and spend public funds. Share, share, and share. However, if today is your very first time of seeing my videos, kindly subscribe. When you subscribe, you will gain and learn more of practical political education that are not taught in the classroom. You will also learn more of personal and leadership development. Do not forget to click the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new content, you can always get notified. Like the video, it will help. As well, your comments will be highly appreciated. How politicians steal and spend public funds. This very topic is to expose the political elites, the politicians, the political ruling class, how they steal collective wealth of the people, how they embezzle the national resources for their personal gain against the general interest, how they make and drive the state against the interest of the people, how they siphon the state money for their personal enrichment and aggrandizement, how they destroy the nation state with their political and office they occupy. Above all, is to educate the general public to understand how privileged positions granted to the public officers on the basis of trust is being used against their own wish. We are going to look at, in a very simple way, how politicians steal the money meant for the development of the nation state for their personal gains against the general interest. We are going to look at it holistically from a mechanism or concept called political corruption. Political corruption is a mechanism well defined, a structure well oiled and positioned by the political ruling class, by the political elites to extract money from the nation state, to extract money from the treasury of the state, to make money, to make the state fund through the elected political officers, to keep them going and as well make them to remain in power. So this mechanism is designed to what? Extort the system, to steal from the system, to extract from the system, to keep their own interest going against the public interest. So political corruption is a very powerful tool by which the politicians deploy to ensure they siphon the state resources. Now we are going to look at other sub areas that the politicians now steal the public funds. And we are going to look how they spend these funds. But the truth of the whole matter is they steal this money to oil the mechanism and reinvest this money in the areas to keep them in power and make them to live their personal life to the full. One of the areas the politicians steal from the public is through percentage and commission. The politicians steal from private individuals. They steal from private companies, multinational companies, individuals who wish to partner with the government to speed up development, to speed up growth, to ensure that the state is working, to provide services and expand job, employment, and openings. These politicians take bribes from this set of people on the basis of commission, on the basis of percentage, thereby enrich themselves so much. When they grease their pants by these investors, they become super rich. And thereby, these investors in returns will make their services high for the general masses because of this very art of these politicians. So they steal from the public through percentage and commission. Another way they steal from the public is the transfer of national assets. When we talk of national assets, we are talking of government investment and properties that render services to the general public at a very low cost or cost recovering basis. But such investment serve the public interest. These politicians will transfer this national asset in the name of privatization policy. They will privatize these companies on the basis that such companies are no longer productive. But such action is designed to ensure that such assets are being privatized for them to become super rich by selling them off on a very lower cost. So they steal by the transfer of national assets to private individuals. These individuals can impersonate them. They are the real owners that bought these properties or investments. They can as well sell them to friends or family members, thereby becoming so rich. Another area, the politicians steal the public funds, is embezzlement. They intentionally embezzle the public fund. They steal directly from the national purse and enjoy this money with their families, with their friends, with their close supporters. They go on vacations on different parts of the world, enjoying the national resources against the general interest. Another way they steal these public funds is through policies they make. They threaten some private individuals, private companies to make some policies that are hostile or that are not tax friendly. Thereby, these companies come into agreement with them by greasing their palms. They will become super rich. They extract money. They extort money from these companies and become so rich. They take these resources and begin to reinvest it in areas that will make them to remain in power. They are also involved in financial crimes. Most politicians are involved in financial crimes. They use their political positions to commit a lot of financial crimes, fraud, to cut away the national resources to other countries. All these resources are reinvested into some political groups known as support groups. They invest them in this group by buying people for their support. When they begin to push this money into various groups, these people will become loyal to them. They secure nominations, permanent nominations for some individuals, powerful individuals that might have the capacity to question or challenge their actions, thereby keeping them perpetually silent. They spend this money in these areas. They spend this money to buy your votes. They go as far as 5,000, 10,000, any price you name it. They spend this money. They use this money to create financial hub for families. They also bulldoze their friends, their families into their ruling classes, the political ruling class. This will secure or protect their political futures. They also use these resources to influence security architectures. They move with securities. Private at the same time influence appointments of financial heads to enable them remain in power. Above all, they use most of this money to buy off majoritarian views to ensure that a particular bill or proposal scales through in the House. Politicians steal and spend these public funds for their interest and to take advantage of the public, of the general public. However, political corruption remains the mechanism through which politicians perfect all their crimes, their ways of extraction of the public treasury. Politicians and the nation state treasury can only be secured if we, the electorates, begin to vote wisely and begin to educate and begin to put other mechanisms by rejecting their financial gratification. When you stop accepting money during election, is also a part that you will play to stop the political elites from stealing by not re-electing them. Political corruption, administrative corruption, all are part of the mechanism the politician adopt to steal and spend this money only for the reason for them to remain in power. Please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye for now.